Divorce is probably one of the worst things people talk all the time. Oh, I just got divorced. But the question I always hear is like, do I actually need an attorney when I'm going through divorce?
Well, that's a really good question because we often hear that having an attorney costs a lot of money. So how do we get ourselves in a position that we can accomplish our divorce without spending a bunch of money on it? And really the important thing is there needs to be education. There needs to be a full exchange of information. There needs to be an exploration of the options to settle the case. And then paperwork has to be done to do that. So you got to accomplish those four things. How do we do that? Getting educated. So a lot of times we hire an attorney so the attorney can tell us what the law says, tell us what our rights are so that we can move forward. There's also mediation where the two spouses hire one neutral professional who educates both spouses. So again, tells both spouses, here's what your rights are, here's what the law has to say, so that they have that to consider. So that's the first thing, is getting educated. Can you get educated on your own? Is it better to use a professional to help you accomplish that? Or do you need a professional to help you accomplish that? The second thing, getting all the information you need. So the courts have a disclosure requirement. Everybody has to exchange information on income information on assets and debts that the couple has. Those need to be exchanged. So do you need a professional to help make sure that there's compliance with that? Hiring an attorney, they're going to help you accomplish that. Hiring a mediator, they're going to oversee the two of you complying and putting that information together. If you're working on your own, can you make sure that you and your spouse exchange that information? The third thing, exploration of options. So when you hire an attorney, oftentimes we're using the court to make these decisions. So the attorney is going to help tee up the case so that the judge can make a decision in the end. In mediation, the mediator assists with kind of putting options on the table, letting the couple know maybe how the court would do it, but also putting some other options out there for the court to consider. So do you need a mediator? Do you need an attorney to help tee up resolution? And then the last thing is getting all the paperwork done. There's a lot of kind of technical stuff that needs to be done. The court does have a facilitator's office that will assist people that don't have attorneys. Otherwise, you can turn to the attorney. In mediation, the mediator will help the couple put together all the paperwork that has to be done to do it. So, wrapping back around to your question, do you need an attorney to handle your divorce? There's benefits to it, right? They know what they're doing. They can make sure you're in a good place to make the decisions you need. I suggest that there's also this mediation option where there's a neutral person working for both of you to kind of help you get to that same position of being in a good spot to make good decisions. And then there's a saving on fees, being able to work with one professional versus each of you hiring your own attorneys. The court process takes a bit longer. There's a lot more involved in preparing for the formal process that the courts provide, which costs a lot more money. So exploring possibly mediating allows for an efficient working through of those steps that I mentioned and getting to a place of settlement.
So do you need an attorney for divorce? It's going to be difficult. Probably better get a mediator, and worst case, get the attorney.
Yeah. And then also, as I said, the court does have resource, which is the facilitator's office. If you're not in a position to hire a mediator or an attorney, then at least there's an attorney that works for the court that will assist you in kind of doing what needs to be done to get your case finished.